Welcome back to Full-Time Takes. It's your host, Kellen, and the Knicks had an absolutely crazy comeback against the Spurs. They were down 29 points in the third quarter, and they won. I got to watch history, and it sparked an idea in me. I thought that I'd give you guys my 5 players with the most to gain or lose in these 2026 NBA Finals. And with that, let's dive in. At number 1, with the most on the line, I have Victor Wembanyama. This was close between him and number 2, but I did choose Wemby because of the expectations that he has. Wemby has the potential to be in GOAT convos one day, so getting a ring in year number 3 would greatly boost that. He'd be ahead of schedule, especially now if he's able to come back down 3-1. But, on the flip side, losing in 5 after beating OKC would hurt his trajectory. Although I wouldn't be too worried, because something similar happened to LeBron in 2007, I believe. Wemby has already gained plenty these playoffs, but getting a 3-1 comeback and a ring in year number 3 puts him further onto GOAT trajectory. Then again, I don't see that happening. Also, I'm recording this the day of before Game 5, so if the Knicks win, take that with a grain of salt. On to number 2, I've got, as you would assume, Jalen Brunson. And I'm going to be straight up, we got to start having some uncomfortable conversation, because if Brunson gets this ring, I think he's a top 2 Knick of all time, and there's an argument for one. Before these playoffs started, I'm going to be real with you. I just thought of him as a great scorer who was inefficient and didn't play defense. But after these playoffs, Brunson, in my book at least, cemented himself as a Knicks legend. If he brings New York home a ring and a Finals MVP, I don't think they'll ever forget him. But I will say that if they somehow manage to give up this 3-1 lead, this whole playoff run, sadly, will probably be forgotten, and Brunson will only be remembered for choking the lead. One more thing, just side note, I feel if Jalen Brunson ends up winning this ring and possibly gets Finals MVP, can we have a talk about him being the biggest playoff riser in the NBA right now? Just a thought. Next up, at number 3, we have another New York Knick, Karl Anthony Towns. Cat's PR, with many NBA fans, including myself, had definitely been tarnished in the last 2 years. I specifically thought of him as a great offensive weapon, yes, but again, someone who was just useless on defense. But in this playoff run, I'd argue Cat's been just as important as Jalen Brunson. Also, can we put some respect on Mike Brown's name for the way the Knicks they've played these playoffs, especially defensively? Brunson and Cat's defensive weaknesses haven't been a big issue so far. I believe that if the Knicks win the Finals, that Karl Anthony Towns will not only cement himself as a future Hall of Famer, but as the greatest shooting big in NBA history. Also, I think that out of these 6, Cat's the least to lose if the Knicks somehow don't win these NBA Finals. As you can tell, I think the Knicks are going to win. Okay, so this might be cheating, but at number 4, I'm going with both teams' head coaches. And yes, I'm aware they're not players, but go along with it. So I put Mike Brown slightly ahead of Mitch Johnson, but it's closer than I think most would have them. I think for as much as Mike Brown has to lose, he has just as much to gain. He's made it to the finals several times before, whether it be as an assistant or a head coach. He's been here before, but to get a ring as the head coach, I know it matters a ton for Mr. Brown. Also, I believe that helps his legacy. And sidebar here, but if the Knicks do win, this is just further proof that the Sacramento Kings will never be a functional organization. They cannot do anything right. Letting him go, I don't understand. So next up, at Mitch Johnson, he's a young coach, and yet he wasn't even supposed to be here, but he has been incredibly successful. He took this young team to the NBA Finals, and obviously a 3-1 comeback would greatly improve his public image and respect. But I have him here for what he would lose. I think if the Spurs lose, Mitch Johnson's poor coaching should definitely be addressed. Whether it be the elephant in the room, them giving up a 29-point lead, refusing to let Dylan Harper play over De'Aaron Fox for some apparent reason, or just poor late game play, his coaching in these finals is a big problem. And if the Spurs lose, that will likely be the big talking point of these NBA Finals. Phew, that was a long one. But to end off, at number 5, I've got Dylan Harper. And I know that might come as a shock, as I almost chose De'Aaron Fox, but with the way he's performed these whole playoffs, especially the finals, I just don't think it would have been right to put him up there. As a firm believer myself, that Dylan Harper clearly deserves to be starting over Fox. He has more to gain. And I think he's already gained a ton over these playoffs. He had a good rookie regular season, don't get me wrong, but he has been by far the best rookie in these playoffs. It's not even fair to call him a rookie anymore. He surpassed that title. Dylan Harper has brought nothing but energy, quick and good offense, and capable defense coming off the bench. He's already gained the title of future superstar, at least in my book. I don't think he loses much of anything if the Spurs don't win these finals. Except maybe some extra jewelry, if you know what I'm saying. And with that settled, those are the 5 players who I believe have the most on the line in these 2026 NBA Finals. Thanks for watching Full-Time Takes. I'm your host, Kellen. And once again, I'm just going to remind you, I'm recording this the day of Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So if the Knicks win, take that with a grain of salt. But if the Spurs win, go Spurs. Spurs in 7.